Sunday morning, everybody. Alan here on the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. We've got a chilly start this morning, not as cold as it was overall yesterday morning when we had a lot of 30s. There's a few out there I'll show you on the Mesonet network. Tomorrow morning, let me just give you a heads up. Tomorrow morning, we could be looking at some frost across parts of the area. Not everywhere, but over parts of the area. Get ready for it. This could be your first real taste of frost by tomorrow morning. Here's a look at the radar with all the advisories turned on here. This is a frost advisory. And as you can see, it doesn't take in Bowling Green, but it does take in Eon and then down to LaRue County, Hodgenville, down to Greene and Taylor counties, the Campbellsville area, Greensburg. It also takes in Adair County, Columbia, Russell Springs, Jamestown, Lake Cumberland area in Russell County, then down into Wayne County and Monticello and Somerset, Pulaski County, all those areas. So Casey County is also included in this. Louisville, Frankfort, Lexington, Richmond, Berea. You can see all the cities that are included in this. So it's going to affect a lot of people, but mainly in that angle from Monticello, Kentucky, all the way up to E Town and to the east. It again does not take in some of our counties from Bowling Green and even up to Munfordville. But of course, frost doesn't, uh, or any kind of weather, follow county lines or roadways or anything like that. So if I were, in the border areas like you see there, I would even still think that you could get some frost and maybe even in Bowling Green if we get cold enough. I'm calling for a low of 40, but in those blue shaded areas, it could be, 37, 38, and with the atmosphere the way it is, close enough to say, yeah, you could get some frost by tomorrow morning. So there's your heads up on that. That's the probably the biggest weather story I've got here because there's not anything else really going on. We had a spectacular day yesterday in which we ended up with a high of 80 in Bowling Green. 80. It got that warm. 70 is where we should be on average. So we were 10 degrees warmer than average yesterday. Here's a look at temperatures right now as of what time is it? 7:20? Yeah, 7:20 is the current time that I'm doing this podcast. And as you can see, there are just a couple of 30s trying to show up this morning. The coldest where you might suspect it would be down at the Cumberland River near Burkesville, 33, just 1 degree above freezing. So there could be some patchy frost down there. But you go up the road into Metcalfe County in Edmonton, it's 46. Big sweep, big change. And that's because of the elevation of these individual weather stations. All right. So we're 44 here in Bowling Green, 40 in Butler County and Grayson County. There's a 39 over in Elton this morning. You've got 48 down in Scottsville, Allen County, and Tompkinsville. So, it depends on where the elevation of these individual stations are because the atmosphere is clear and very stable. So you get a variety in the morning, especially of different temperatures, but we'll all start to come up as the sun comes up and we'll start to even out. But it's going to be cooler today, I can tell you that, than it was yesterday. We're not going to hit 80 degrees. In fact, we may not even hit 70. Yeah, much cooler today than yesterday. Look at that. We're looking at here on the model blender, only 66. That's what I'm going with, 66. Everything seems to kind of settle right there. A big time agreement among the models. Um, excuse me. And yeah, I was outside. I was like, I think I'll take my cup of coffee outside. sit on the swing, and then I'm like, ew, it's a little too chilly. So I came back in, but you know, it gets the sinuses and it gets the throat early in the morning. Tomorrow, though, we're going to bounce right back into the 70s, as you can see, about 72, 73, mid 70s, even maybe some upper 70s again in the middle of the week. But here comes Halloween weekend. And I've touched on this a couple of times before today about Halloween weekend being much colder. And your eyes should take you right on over to the end of this scale, this graph, and you can see a high of only 55 for the first day of November, which is not this coming Wednesday, but next Wednesday. And look at that. That's a shot of colder air. Even on Halloween, which is not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, temperatures are only going to be in the low 60s, maybe even just upper 50s for high temperatures. And then we start to see more 30s showing up for overnight lows. And I think next week, not this coming week, but the following week, as we get into November, the first few days of November, that's when we could get the first widespread frost or even freeze. So we'll just have to give it a few more days to bake here. And I mean by that, not bake temperatures, but I mean it will be warmer, but I mean cook. That's what I mean. Got to give these models more time to cook, come together in agreement. We'll see how that all pans out. Some of these models may start to parse out a little bit and disagree. So we still got a ways to go before that happens. But I think the much colder air is coming as we get into the first few days of November. Even if it's only temporary, it'll be a very cold shot of air. All right, let's take a look at the maps here over the next 7 days. And you can see that everything is very quiet here. There's a little disturbance north of us, producing a little bit of light rain in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, but that's it for today. And you go into Monday, into Tuesday, everything is pretty quiet here. We're not going to see much of any change at all, but you can see some rain coming in from our west by Tuesday into Wednesday. We're still going to be warm and sunny with highs in the 70s, mid 70s. Thursday is when we'll start to see some of that rain slowly approaching us. And then for the upcoming weekend, I am looking at chances of rain Friday, Saturday, next Sunday, a week from today, that will affect the area, but not seeing any of the other stuff yet. So even though it's going to get colder, I'm not seeing any. Not, no, no, not yet. Not yet. We're not there yet. Not even close yet, but it is going to get colder after that, which is going to be a big change. All right, you guys have a great Sunday. It's going to be a nice day, not as breezy today. There still will be some breezes, but not quite as windy as it was when we had some of those 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts yesterday. But it is going to be cooler. I'm calling for a high of 66, not 80. Won't be as warm as it was yesterday. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow morning.